My name is Michael and welcome to this most triumphant retro game review show, and for this week's episode I'll be reviewing the most bodacious, the most excellent Bill & Ted's Excellent Game Boy Adventure. This is easily the best licensed Bill & Ted game to date, but why has this radical game been overlooked all these years? Bill & Ted's Excellent Game Boy Adventure is an action puzzler. You might be asking, what is an action puzzle game? Well, there are variations on this formula, but most common action puzzlers could be described as a puzzle game that's usually on a single fixed screen with a character who has to clear a stage of special items in a certain amount of time while avoiding obstacles and working out how best to complete each level. This description pretty much fits Bill & Ted's Excellent Game Boy Adventure to a T, and while it doesn't deviate much from this formula, it is still a solid addition to this subgenre of gaming. The goal of each level is to collect time fragments. At the beginning of the game, you're given free rein to collect these in whatever order you want, and later the levels gradually shift focus to being more restrictive, and you end up with really only one possible order to collect these time fragments in. Each stage starts off with 100 seconds on a clock, so right away time is a factor and you need to finish each level before the timer runs out. This isn't much of an issue at first, but as you progress it becomes harder and harder to finish each level within the allotted time. Something I really like about this game is the way it introduces new game mechanics and has enough faith in the player to work out how to use them. A good example is the balloon and bomb. Both of these items are collected from the mystery box and can be used at any time by pressing the A button. Early in the game you're taught that you can only complete a level if these items are used at the right moment. And about that mystery box, when it doesn't have a special item needed to complete a level, it normally has an extra life or a death flashing icon. When it's like that, it's best to avoid the mystery box, as the last thing you want is to take a gamble on whether you get an extra life or die. Bill & Ted's Excellent Game Boy Adventure is a solid little fun game, but because of this bogus problem I just mentioned and two others, it falls just short of classic status. So, what are the other two problems? First off, the jumping. The best way to describe it is it has this Super Mario Land jumping syndrome. As soon as you let go of the D-pad, you fall straight down. Normally when you jump in any video game, a small amount of your momentum just before you jump travels with you, and this is the reason why most gamers can pick up just about any game and within a short period of time work out how to make successful jumps. This isn't a game breaker, but you are constantly having to remind yourself how to jump, and that's not good game design because a well-made game should not require you to reteach yourself something that is by now second nature to you. Another problem is the circuits of time. They work like ladders, but for some reason they're buggy as anything. It's hard to describe, but the only way I can explain it is it doesn't let you get up when you want to and sometimes grabs you as you walk by, which means in the split second of a moment you've unknowingly climbed up and got killed by a bad guy who just happened to be right above that particular circuit of time. Very most heinous. These problems don't make this a bad game. In fact, they're more like little blemishes that prevent this from ever becoming a well-remembered classic. This is still an addictive fun game with the I've got to complete just one more level quality going for it. And with its 10 stages, each with 5 levels, giving us a grand total of 50 levels, you're not going to finish this anytime soon. And if you were a fan of Chuckie Egg back in the day and have been crying out for more, then give this game a go, as it pretty much picked up where Chuckie Egg left off. So I give Bill & Ted's Excellent Game Boy Adventure a most non-bogus thumb of approval. I'm not quite done with the Game Boy yet, so I'll see you all very soon for the Game Boy camera and printer review. Say cheese!